The next Zelda game will be on the Wii U console. Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, Lithium here from my channel Nintendo Collecting, bringing you another entry into the Question Lithium series, where I like to answer all your questions related to Nintendo. This week's question comes from Tim on Twitter. His handle is @SquirtleSquad7, and he asks, for The Legend of Zelda, what's your ideal release? What do you hope happens? A dual platform release like Twilight Princess, or just the Wii U console? Thank you so much for your question, I really appreciate it. Now, I do realize, obviously, there is a precedent for this. In the past, Nintendo has released Twilight Princess on the GameCube, and then they also released Twilight Princess kind of as a launch title for The Legend of Zelda on the Wii. So that was really interesting. That's never really happened before, that they actually split the release of any Mario games, Zelda games, or any games for that matter of this major importance. So essentially, with the Wii U console, we are right now only at one Zelda game. And I should mention, obviously, there's Skyward Sword as well on the Wii. And the only Zelda game so far that we have on the Wii U is a remake. This is The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, one of my favorite remakes, one of the best games ever, redone. You have to play this one. But it's not a true Zelda game, in my opinion. So I'm going to make the argument that Nintendo has always had a major Zelda release on every single console, especially home consoles. Of course, dating back to the NES, you had the original Legend of Zelda. You also had The Adventure of Link. So you had two games on the original NES. On the Super Nintendo, you had A Link to the Past. You also had some Satellaview games, kind of, that were add-ons to that. Then on the N64, you had Ocarina of Time, and you had the fantastic Majora's Mask. On the GameCube, you had Wind Waker, and then you also had a half-release, I would say, of Twilight Princess. And then on the Wii, you had the other half of Twilight Princess, and of course, you also had Skyward Sword. So recently, the consoles have actually had a game and a half release. Right now, I would also say on the Wii U, we have roughly a half game released in this remake right here. I think The Legend of Zelda Wii U has been built from the ground up to be on the Wii U platform. I think they're going to use the gamepad that you see back there. That's the Zelda edition. They've built it with the gamepad in mind, and that's not to say that the next will not implement the gamepad or some sort of gamepad functionality or a brand new gamepad of some sort. I just really truly believe that they've been developing this game for years, and I think if they do anything and they really want to release it on the next, they will release it just like Twilight Princess on the GameCube. It will come out on the Wii U. Nintendo owes this to me. They owe it to their fans to actually release it on the Wii U console. There's over 10 million of us who have bought the console, and I think that number is obviously going to keep going up. I think that Zelda game will be one of the biggest collector's items out there eventually, because I'm not sure if it will sell that well, because I do believe that they're going to treat it like Twilight Princess. I do think a dual release is coming. I think they're probably going to have it as a launch game on the next Nintendo console with much better graphics that are improved. Perhaps that's part of the reason due to the delay. I know Aonuma has said before in some interviews that it's still coming to the Wii U console. You can expect the release to come, I hope, in 2015. I don't think it would be delayed any more than that. It's already been delayed a few times. I am very, very excited for this new open-world Zelda game with some sort of new mechanic, as Aonuma has stated before, but I do think they're actually going to split it between the Nintendo Wii U and the next console that's coming out. So I would expect that to happen, and I'm probably going to buy both versions anyways. But I really think because it was developed from the ground up for the Wii U console that it's still coming, and I think Nintendo knows that. But if they want to have a lot of sales, I think they're also going to split it and put it on the next console for Nintendo. Tim, thank you so much for your question. I really appreciate it. If any of you have questions for future Question Lithium episodes, just actually tweet me on Twitter @CollectNintendo. You can add the hashtag QLithium to your question, and hopefully I might answer it in a future episode. Thanks again, Tim, for your question. Feel free to fill that like bucket, follow me on all the social media links in the description below the video, and remember, as always, go collect them all and keep smiling while gaming.